In the Yucatan of Mexico. Today I'm out in the orchards with a guy that's having trouble with his well pump. There's a few things going on. He's got an old fuse system that is deteriorating and oxidized, so the power is not passing through cleanly. And so we will change that out to a breaker today. There's a few problems going on for those of you who are electric savvy with the power in Mexico and throughout the Caribbean and other places in the Americas is power in these regions were designed with a combination of European style and American style, and so they don't mesh real good. And for those of you who understand the frequency of the power in the United States, it is 60 hertz. Here it is 50 hertz. And so with that, they've taken a 120 volt system, put it in Mexico, and then taken the 50 hertz system from Europe and putting that into Mexico. But a lot of the equipment's not made for 50 hertz. It's made for 60 hertz, so that adds added stress. It's hard to buy refrigerators. It's hard to buy microwaves. It's hard to buy things that really should be made for the right frequency in Mexico. And so it's creating a lot of problems throughout not only Mexico, but I see the same problem in the Caribbean and throughout the other parts of the Americas that are on 120 volt, 240 volt system. Things just don't work real well unless you can find something that's either made for 120 50 hertz or three-phase 230 at 50 hertz or things like that. Today we're dealing with a three-phase system, but still it's not optimal for the way it should be. And so I can't even see what the motor specs are, but anyway, all those differences make things heat up if everything's not getting a good amount of power. So I'll start another video in a minute. I'm having trouble flipping my phone. I'll start another video that shows where we're going to change that out. For those of you bird watchers out there, out here in the orchards, I'm seeing some incredible birds. I don't see them in the city. Some great big yellow birds, great big blue birds, great big red birds. So if there's any birders out there and you ever want to come down here, I can definitely get you to where you can observe a lot of nature out here. Okay, so this is what we have. We have a fuse block here, and you can see the oxidation has taken place in here, and everything just getting corroded. Here in the Yucatan, things are just extremely humid, so it just eats it away. So we're gonna add, today we're gonna add another box, weatherproof box, with a breaker in there, a weatherproof cover, so that we can get this corrected. Now, there's no other disconnect on this line other than a quarter-mile away, and it shares with a number of other people's orchards here. They all have 1 meter, and they all kind of split the cost of the electrical bill. So because that disconnect's so far away, I'm going to take a guy over there. We will turn it off, and I'm going to ask him just to stay there with the breaker so that nobody turns it back on and we get into a problem here. So I will send another video soon as we have this up and running. Blanco, blanco, rojo, negro. Oh no, see, blanco, negro. No. Okay, negro, blanco, rojo, and negro. I'm hoping that here you can see how bad these wires are. This one's just all melted. There's green on the wires. They're just, you can see evidence of arcing. One of them was very loose in the terminal block, so we know that that's not good. So we're going to cut this back and get to some clean wire. And hopefully the wire is good in there. Sometimes you find that these jackets they use on them just aren't going to be good enough to protect the wire. So we'll get back to some good wire hopefully, and make it work. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands to get that jacket off. Okay, as you see here, we have installed the new breaker. Don't have the cover on yet. We're going to give it a quick test. The well pump is a submersible well down in the submersible well pump down in the well there. One thing I forgot to mention before, you'll see that I have these wires put together, like one phase is going white to black, and then black to red, and red to white. Because I'm doing a change out, I took a photo of this. You would want to jot that down or take a photo like I did if you're going to do something like this. When you're dealing with three-phase motors, they can run backwards. So if it's a first-time installation, you got to put it together, confirm direction of the pump or the fan motor or whatever kind of motor you're putting together, and make sure you go in the right direction. I hope at this point that won't be a problem, because I did put everything back together, as far as I know, exactly like I took it apart. So we're going to know that in just a moment. We will start the pump now. Okay, Marcha, la baba. Sí. And we have water. So they've got a pressure valve on the top to be sure that it's not over pressurizing his pipes and blowing it apart. One thing he told me though, that that pressure thing is a bit of a problem, because he gets iguanas in there and all kinds of other things and gets it locked shut. So there's not much you can do about that, but maybe put a screen over the end of it, and I'll help him to get that done to help protect that. But other than that, everything appears to be working and working good. Hopefully the wires won't keep melting. When I disconnected that old panel, even the terminals in there were just falling apart. They were no good. So definitely need to be replaced. Hopefully it's a good change out, and it will protect their pump and keep them going for a long time. They do have a phase protection. Just a reminder, on three-phase motors, you don't want to wire that direct without phase protection. You'll heat them up red hot. I've seen it happen before when a phase protection failed. But inside there, if one phase drops off, it'll kill all the phases. Thank you for your time.